from Virginia, USA. Thanks for waiting. You know, I left the chat for you, but you didn't use it. When I put out the chat like that, I want you to chat, like to talk about what's going on, the news, the weather. You know, in America, they like to talk about the weather. So for those of you who are going to watch it later, this was a live. I'm Sherifa Nakalema in Virginia, USA. And as I'm doing this one, it's 1 a.m., 1:17 a.m., USA Eastern. And the topic is moving to a new country. This is part 2. The last time I was here, I was struggling with my voice. I did just a brief of it. And I said, I'll come back later. And I was doing it with a new USA audience at that time, last Friday. So I said today, I'll make sure I come a little bit later. We include Africa in the conversation and other countries, because this is a topic that's relevant to many people. So I'm going to first recap the reasons why people move and the disadvantages of moving. Then I'll go to the chat. Welcome. We have Kakoma Hassan today. We have, I think Janet is praying right now. Malaysia, this must be time for prayers. Join us later. Robert, welcome. Aula is gone. I think Aula is not here anymore. Welcome, Bruno. Lawrence is here. Lawrence, are you in Kenya now? Let's see. Welcome. I'm looking at all those. Please, when you see the chat, come and use it to just interact with each other. That's the reason we like the lives. Even if I'm not there yet, you just chat. Now, let's go to the topic. Why do people move? I'm going to give a reason why they move. Let's see. I have 10 reasons why people move, and I have, I think, 12 or 11 or 12 why the disadvantages. So let's go through them one by one. Please think about what's relevant to you, and then we're going to get to the discussion, okay? Like in the chat. Number 1, remember this is part 2. So some of you have watched this, the previous live, but it was a brief live. This one intended to be a little bit longer. People move for better economic opportunities. Yes, they're going to look for the money. But these days, I say, you don't have to move to find the money as long as you have the internet. So when you look at the description of this video, I didn't put too much. I just put for you to connect with me. I have a community. If that's the reason, if you are moving because of money and you have a phone, since you're watching me, you have a phone, right? And it has internet, and that's all you need actually. You have, it depends which country where you are, and you have a bank account and all that. Even if you don't have that, I can advise you to set those things up. You can work online. You can work online. So that's, but I didn't put anything like go sign up for this or that. Just come to my community. I put a link right there. Watch a video. I'm inviting you to come to my community, connect with me, and I show you what you need to do. So economic reasons, you don't need to move. You can create your own America, your own whatever country you want to go to. As long as you have at least, how many years of education? I would say high school, but I've seen people who don't have high school who have done it. So you can do it too, as long as you know the English language. Number 2, why people move? Political stability, instability. Number 3, education. They go, better education. That's the reason I came to USA. Number 4, family reunion. Like if one person went, maybe husband went, and then they bring the wife, or like connection, the family. Because one person may move because of education, and then later they have to bring their family. So family, getting together. Another reason, number 5, quality of life. I explained all these in the previous video, the previous live. What does quality of life mean? And then number 6, escape discrimination, persecutions. Yeah, so sometimes it's political too, religious, stuff like that. Number 7, climate, environmental factors. I talked about people moving, retiring. People leave USA to go retire in America. Even in America itself, people move from one state to another. Florida is very, very well known for people who are retiring because of the weather. So even in America itself, people move to avoid the cold and go to other states that are warmer, like Texas, okay? But Florida is better. Texas sometimes can be very hot too. Number 8, for better health care. We talked about that. You could move because of for health reasons. Number 9, adventure, exploration. Yeah, people just go, say, I want to go to another country because it's better. Just let's go see what happens in other countries. Number 10, entrepreneurship. I talked about people moving for business reasons, especially if they are going to start, like they have maybe a factory, or they take to another country, and maybe they have better taxes, stuff like that. And then, I think this will have me number 11, but actually we already covered it. People move for climate, lower cost. Yeah, I think that could be a different reason. Lower costs. Because if you're in USA, you can say, you know what? When I retire, I want to be in Uganda, for example, because it's cheaper. $1,000 in USA, $1,000 is enough for me to live on in Uganda, but $1,000 cannot even pay for my rent. Just for the housing alone, $1,000 is not enough. Yet $1,000 is enough for me to live on in Uganda if I chose to retire there. So that could be the lower cost could take me to another country. We are done with the reasons why people move. Remember, I was recapping. I discussed all these in the previous video. Okay, the reason why maybe you may consider not moving. Those are the disadvantages. I added some more. I have like 13. Let's go through them really quickly. Then I'm going to come to the discussion, okay? Number 1, culture adjustment. That's a huge one. So if you move to USA, don't expect that people are going to be behaving the way you are behaving, the way you are coming from. America is the most interesting country. Do you know why? It has all countries right here. But once you arrive in USA, expect to behave the way they behave. Although you'll find that there are some people in some places, they behave the way they choose to behave, like you can say, like, for example, me, I didn't do that. But if you go to Boston, you hear Boston is Massachusetts, right? You'll find so many Ugandans. They even like have now their own mosque. Like they can even say we are praying in Uganda today. We don't have it here. Here I have to know, I don't know. I don't even know many Ugandans where I am. So you can choose to create your own little community in USA, but when you move to USA, you are expected to behave like an American. That's why people who get the lottery, you know the lottery, there is a lottery. It's about to start, by the way. That's why the reason to connect with me. But don't connect with me just for the lottery. Connect with me to learn what I do, but also I tell you about the lottery. It's about to start in the DV, I think October. It's about to start. So you just put in your name. If it picks you, then you can move to USA. And you can move your wife or husband or children. That's the best way to come to America. I always tell you, it's like gold. If you picked, but you have to have high school education. You have to have health. The reason you have to be healthy. You can't be running away from your government. If you did bad things in your country, they can't clear you. You have to be cleared in your country. The health, it has to be good. The education, minimum high school. That's one of the things that you remember I said. I was talking about cultural adjustment. You are expected to have a high school education if you live in America, because America is free. Education is free. Although you might say free, oh, it's free. No, it's free. You buy the books, you buy the clothing and all that as a parent, but the schools themselves are free. Only if you choose to take your child to a private school. So, and it's not boarding school. Children live at home until it's time to go to university. They live with their parents. When I say that, people say that, really? Yes, they live at home. They don't go. So, it's free education up to high school. So, you are expected to have a high school level of education if you live in America. So, if it's culture adjustment, if you think you're going to come to America and you don't have this kind of level of education, it's going to be hard for you. Because, for example, if you're going to, let's assume you did the lottery, but anyway, they will not allow you to come if you don't have high school education. But let's assume somehow you manage to come. Because see, the parent, the person who gets the lottery, right? They will have to pass through that. But then you could choose to come with your mother, for example. You want to come, at some point, you can fight for your mother, you can fight for other people. So if they come here and they don't have the level of education, do you know any place you go? If I want to drive a car, and you go to DMV, they call it DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, they just give you the form. They hand you the paper and the pen. Fill it up. So now you don't know English, they expect you to know English. That's why, like we see here, there are many people who don't know English, then you see them going with their child to help them understand what's on the paper. You see, but you are expected to know. Because whenever I go to this place, I said, do you know that some people may not be able to fill this stuff out? They expect you to know, because they expect an American to have high school level of education. I spent too much time on that. Number one, culture adjustment. Be ready to come and learn English and start behaving the way they behave. Number two, loneliness, homesickness. That's crazy. If you think you're just going to move, that's why you see me on TikTok. That's why I went to TikTok, to be very passionate about people who go because of the money. I left my 2 children in Uganda when I came to America. You cannot even imagine it. Loneliness, homesickness. You're going to come to a place, okay, you came to look for money. No one cares. No one cares. So no one cares. Like I just said, I said it so many times. Whether you have a relative or not, they don't care, and they're working, they're busy. If they help you to receive you, they give you somewhere to stay, you are lucky. But that's it. They're busy. They're going, they're coming, they're going. You don't even see them. You're going to feel so lonely. Sometimes you don't know what to do. Remember, for me, when I came to America here, we didn't even have buses, like public transportation. If you have to go somewhere, you have to pay for a taxi, like the form of like Uber or especial. In Uganda, it would be the special, to go anywhere. For someone to drive you to take you somewhere, they don't have the time. They're not even available. See, you're going to feel so lonely. You're gonna wonder even why you came. I was on TikTok. You know, I shared my WhatsApp number, and I remember a young man sending me a message saying, you know, I came to SA, I came 2 weeks ago, and you know, everywhere I go, they're asking me. I go to look for a job. They're asking me that. Where's your work permit? I said, why are they all asking me for work permit? I said, what? How did you land here? That would fall also in a culture adjustment. So you came to USA thinking you're going to ask for a job the way you are in Uganda. You are not an American. So you have to have permission to work. You need a work permit. So he was surprised that people are asking for work permit. And then I was thinking, who helped him to come to this country that they didn't tell them that a visa, just getting a visa to enter America doesn't mean you're allowed to work in America. A visitor's visa doesn't allow you to work in America. I was shocked, actually. I said, no one told you? So people are just, okay, you arrived, you are there. No one even told you that to get a job, you need a work permit, or your visa doesn't allow you to work. I don't know. That's loneliness, all that stuff. Then number 3, it connected legal and administrative challenges. That's the biggest problem in USA. You're not allowed to work. And in many other countries, you'll find that maybe in other countries, there's some ways of working, but the system is set up that you have to have a social security number. If you don't have a social security number, there's nothing you can do. Because everywhere you go, that's what they want. That's the beginning. And when I first came here, they didn't connect it the way they connected it now. Everywhere you go, even a police officer who stops you, you get your social, they connect, they check immigration, they know everything about you by that number. So if you don't have that number, it's like they say they are under, they call them under what? They're hiding, they're in the shadows. You can't do anything. So you have that problem. Legal, administrative challenges. Number 4, that's why you see people who go and never come back. You wonder why they don't come back. They can't come back. Because if you come to America on a visitor's visa, and you manage somehow to find something to do, because it's going to be hard, it doesn't matter whether you have a degree or you don't, you are here illegally. At some point, they give you a visa, and the visa you get in Uganda is, I'm giving Uganda more, I'm expecting more, I have more Ugandans in the chat. For those of you in other countries, the same thing. When they give you a visa at the embassy, That's a visa allowing you to come to USA. I'm not talking by the way like a lawyer. I'm just sharing what I know. So don't quote me. I'm not a lawyer. I'm telling you what I know. The visa allows you to enter USA. But it's not the same as the visa allowing you to stay. So when you could go to an embassy in Uganda and they say multiple, they give you a visa for 2 years. Doesn't mean you're going to come to America and stay 2 years. It means you can come for coming and going for 2 years before you go get another visa. But when you come to the border to entry, they're going to say, why are you here? I'm here for conference. I'm here for whatever reason you came. They're going to give you maybe 1 month. When I came at that time, it was standard. They'll give you 6 months, but they changed it now. They give you according to why you are here. So if they give you just 1 month, after 1 month, you have to be gone. If you are not gone, you overstayed the visa. Now, most people overstay their visas, and that's a visitor's visa. That's not allowing you to work. So you are here stuck. That's why you are wondering, how come someone went over there 10 years? We don't hear them. They don't okay. They're not even coming back. They cannot come back, because if they come back, they have nothing. They're not able even to get their money for, they borrowed some money for tickets and stuff. They are here, they can't even work. And if they leave, they can't come back in. That's why they choose to stay. They try to figure out how to make it legal, and it takes them years and years. That's the American story. So if you come here and you think entering is going to help you, no. Because you're going to enter, and that visa is going to expire, and then you're going to start hiding. And now, when I first came to USA, the police officers were not, they have the federal and the state. So the local police could not ask you why you are here, right? It was illegal to ask you those questions. Now they changed it. So a police officer, if they stop you, now they can ask for that social security number, the one we talked about, and they check their systems. They see you are not there, you are illegal. You know what they do to you? They hand you over, and you're going to be processed to be deported. They take you back to where you came from. Now it's easy to get you. You can't hide. Only if you don't come, you are lucky you don't get interaction with the police officer. But if you do, they have the right to ask you. That's why now things are really, really hard, tough. That was number 3. Number 4, social integration. That's the same thing I was talking about. You come, these people, they're minding their business. Socially, you don't have friends, you don't have, only if you go intentionally. If you come from Uganda, the city where Ugandans are. Then you make sure you go in that city. America is too big. From here, for me to go to Boston, the one I talked about, where the Ugandans are, I have to drive 8 hours. 8 hours to get to Boston, or you go by air. That's where you find the Ugandans. They're here in Maryland, also they are Ugandans. But my point is, okay, there may be Ugandans also, but Ugandans who don't care. Because a long time ago, people tell stories. People only enter this country if they're coming for further studies. They came for masters, or they work for the UN, or they work for, those are the high-class people, right? So if you came here and you're not well educated, they wouldn't even talk to you. They would behave like they don't know you. Yet you are also from Uganda. They looked at them like they're the low people. They don't talk to you. So you can't say you're going to visit their house. No. They will look like they are different. So the social part is very important, social integration. If you don't know anyone, people don't care. Even the ones you know. Speaks the same. Someone was telling a story of, if they hear this story, they'll know that's them. But they're telling a story of going to another country, right? And they're trying to find directions on a bus, like which bus to take. They're taking a bus or train. Okay, they were trying to ask, okay, which train do I take if I want to go over there? They are, I think, at a station. And guess what? A Ugandan. They saw a Ugandan, and they wanted to talk to that Ugandan to ask. They didn't answer them. They didn't even give them the answer. They didn't even give them the time. And this was a fellow Ugandan in another country. Those are the kind of people we're talking about. And those were not the high-class people. They were similar. But they look at you like, You see what I mean? Just because you are Ugandan, no. But this thing that I'm talking about, they even happen in Kampala. You just came from the village, you came to the city, you think they're going to welcome you? They don't care. So social integration, be careful. You're going to feel so lonely, wonder why you even came here. Number 5, job and career challenges. Job and career, I explained it in the other one. Job, remember, you need a work permit. But let's assume you have the work permit. Like those people who get the green cards, the ones who come with the lottery, there is a challenge of not knowing. You don't have the skills. Career challenge. So that means the only job you're going to do is that involves using your hands and everything until you go and train. You have to go back to school to do anything. All those people you see coming and taking care of old people, they have to go through school first. Some go for a few weeks, some go for a few years, but they all have to go to school, and school that's very, very expensive for you to integrate, assuming you are here legally. Number 6, discrimination. Yeah, discrimination. Like for us, we are black people in a country that's not for black people, right? They are black people, but mostly white, right? So now if you're a person, I fact Uganda a lot because I'm originally from Uganda. If you are from Uganda and you think you're going to be here and they're going to like welcome you so much, it depends. But they're kind people. Hello, how are you? But that's it. But integrate, like they call it discrimination. Discrimination is alive and well. And for us who add on being Muslims, dress like this, it depends where you are. Yeah, like for me, where I am here, it's not as bad, but there are places where you couldn't go there wearing hijab. See, all that, be ready for that. Discrimination, loss of a familiar support system, especially if you ever choose to have a baby, like you become pregnant and you have a baby. It doesn't matter whether you are you have your husband, wife, but you are having your baby in this. Hello, welcome. I didn't say welcome. Daphne is here too. Mariam, sorry, I didn't. Normal person is here too. Sorry, I didn't look at the chat. I focused on my notes. Welcome, normal person is the house, but you disappear. Why don't you come to my community? Today I put out I'm gonna ask all of you, please come. Let's be in a community, okay? At this point, let me share this one in the link, here in the chat. Please come to my community. Like when I'm doing stuff like this, I share. I say, come, let's do. See, that's the link that'll take you to my community. I'll share it again before I leave. So I was talking about support system, that even if you are husband and wife, remember, America is about work, and more work. So you are both working. Now, the wife, you become pregnant, you have a baby. Guess what? There's no grandma to help you. There's no neighbor to help you. There's no one to help you. That's why they're talking about the familiar support system. So if you're in Uganda, you think about it also being in Kampala and you're in the city. It's similar. It's the same thing. But if you're in a village, maybe you have an auntie, you have a sister-in-law, you have some people helping. So you don't have the support system. That's tough. Very, very tough. Okay? Number 8, culture and social norms. Yeah. But that one, that's why Americans, they don't like it. When you come to USA and refuse to learn the way they do things, because some people refuse to learn. You come and you still want to behave the way you want to behave, like the way you are behaving over there. They don't like it. When you come, try to learn how they do things. So culture and social norms, learn how do Americans behave, how to do whatever. They have their way of doing things. If you adjust and behave like that, it's going to be good. But if you think, for example, something as simple as everything in line, right? If you're going to buy something and you're checking out to go pay, it's known that you line up. So you can't, let's assume I'm lining up here. Maybe I came earlier and you're my friend and I see you, you came. You can't just come and join me here and skip the line. You have to be there at the back. So if you ever come and behave like that and skip the line, that's not American. It doesn't matter who you are. You line up. You line up and wait for your turn. It's just known. It's just that's how they behave. So if you're going to say, oh, my friend booked that for me, no, it doesn't work like that. So simple things like that, yeah, you have to learn how they behave. Number 9, healthcare. Healthcare issues. Healthcare, they put it healthcare and language, but actually I would put them as 2 points. Healthcare is a very big deal. You hear it in the elections, American elections. There's no healthcare in America. It's not free. It's not free. You can't just walk in a hospital and think they're going to take care of you for free. No, it's not here. And then the language barrier, that's the English. Because remember I said that for those who are going to fill out the lottery thing, you have to be at least high school. They expect you to know the English language. If you don't know the English language, you're going to have a problem. How are you going to communicate? Remember, we talked about those forms they fill out. They are all in English. So that's another one. You have to know the language. If you don't know the language, you're going to go to English as the second language. That's going to take you some time. They have it in the communities. You can go to classes. But can you imagine how long will it take you to learn the language? It takes a while. Okay, financial considerations. Yeah, that one is interesting. Because when I'm talking about come work from home, they say, I said, it's only $7. People say, I don't have money. I don't have $7, you know. $7 in Uganda shillings is less than Mitwale Sat, right? I don't have $7, but I want to come to USA. How can I come? What? But I said, you said you don't have $7 and you want to come to America? Do you know how much it costs to come to America? Because a visa alone, I don't know how much now it is. The last time I checked, it's almost $200. Almost $200 in Mitwalo. I'm speaking Uganda now. Mitwalo almost in some Vichirana, whatever, just to get a visa. And you know what they do? You go to apply for a visa, you pay that. I don't know how much it is, but it's going, I think it's at $150. It's at least Mitwalo a ton or so. You go, and you go there, and I remember the first time I went for my visa application when I was coming. For me, it wasn't an issue. At that time, I worked for Uganda Revenue Authority. It wasn't a money issue, but I remember there was this problem with the address. They said, where are you going? When I put the address, the zip code, you know, American addresses have a zip code. It's a 5-digit number. It means a zip code. They say, we're not giving you a visa this time. Guess what? When you come again, after correcting the address, you pay again. You have to pay again. Now you're just getting the visa. Let's assume everything is fine. You can get the visa. How about the ticket? How much is the ticket? Where are you going to stay? You have some pocket money, some shopping. You have to shop. Before you come over here, everything is different. So money considerations, financial considerations. You know, most people who get this, they call that lottery, they can't finance the journey. Okay, they say you went through, everything's good, but you have to finance how to get that visa is given in Nairobi. It's not for Uganda. This whole talk is for Ugandans, but any other country is similar. For Uganda, if you're going to come to America on what they call the immigrant visa, I mean, immigrant visa is not the same as a visitor's visa. A visitor's visa is the one where you come to America to visit. That one you can get from Kampala. But an immigrant visa is only given in Nairobi. You have to travel to Nairobi. Now, you have the money to travel to Nairobi. You have to go through all the medical stuff they want you to do. Everything, the Interpol stuff, they have to check your security. Is it Interpol, wherever you have, that's all money. Now, after all that, let's get to the ticket. America, if it's cheap, when you are very, very lucky, at least $1,000 in the seasons when the tickets are cheap. Remember, you take two airplanes, there are two layers to come to America. You have to start somewhere, land somewhere, and then get here. There's no direct flight. All that is money, okay? So that's why they say financial considerations. Now we haven't talked about where you're going to live, who is going to take care of you, and all that. Okay, that was number 10. Number 11, uncertainty and instability. Of course, it's uncertain where you're going. You know, even someone could say, oh, I'll help you when you come, and then you come and they don't, or they'll help you for just some time. You know what's strange about USA is that there's no free housing. There's no free housing. Like someone built a house over there and people just stay and there's no paying. There's payment. If someone bought a house but it's no mortgage, they pay every month. So you can't expect to come to live somewhere for free. If someone's going to help you maybe for a week, but by the month ending, you better find something to do and start contributing. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't matter if they are your relative, it doesn't, because they are also paying. Okay? I think those are the things some people don't understand. So when you come, you think everything's going to be free. There's nothing free. Even taking care of it, I'll say something very interesting. Do you know that a grandmother may charge to take care of grandchildren? If you're going to work and you drop your children to your mother's house, you'll be paying your mother to take care of those children. Do you know why you have to pay? To pay the mother? And it's normal? Because she has bills to pay too. She has to pay for that place. She has to pay for her car, for her insurance, her everything. So you pay for the mother, or for the babysitting. But it may be cheaper. Okay, they may give you a good rate. Maybe others are charging $50, they charge $30, but you pay for that. That's very strange. You say, what? Grandma is charging? Yes, grandma is charging. Because that time, she could be doing something else to make money. If you are bringing your children, you're going to drop off some cash too. Okay, only if you have a rich grandmother. Like the grandmother, your mother is a rich one. Uncertainty and stability, education. Why did I put education in the disadvantages? Yeah, the education, I already explained it. You cannot survive without education here. It's going to be really, really hard. You're going to find that you have to go back and study. Because otherwise you're going to be doing those jobs that don't require education. But almost every job requires education. Do you know what? You have to communicate. I own a cleaning business, but I didn't hire anyone who wasn't able to speak English. I remember when I was training to learn this cleaning professionally, I worked for a company which hired ladies, girls who never spoke English. The only word they could say is, how are you? So how are you going to enter someone's house and clean it and do everything they want to do? They leave notes, like today, please do this and do that. You know, when you go to clean these homes, the owners are not there. They just leave a note. Okay, today, please do this and that. But you can't read. You have to know the language. Okay? So education is important. Number 13, the legal. I don't know why I put this, but I added it later. The legal, I think I already talked about it. You have to be legal to be in the country where you're going. No country is going to allow you, even Uganda, you know, when you come, like us, I'm an American now. If I came to Uganda right now and I want to work, they ask me for work permit. I have to go ask for permission to work in Uganda. You see, that's how it is. Every country asks you, foreigners have to get work permits to work in that country. You don't, because for you, see, just go there and get a job because you are Ugandan and you are in Uganda. Otherwise, anywhere you go, you have to get permission to work, the legal part. Okay, now I'm with you in the chat. I finished all of them. I read up those who came early or who didn't hear the first one. I already gave you the advantages of coming. I can recap the advantages a little bit for those who came later. I said you move because you want better economic opportunities. You're running away from politics, something happened in your country, you go for asylum. You're going for education and research. You go for family, to join your family. You go for the better life, quality of life. You go to escape persecution, the same thing. Discrimination, like right now, the gay, lesbian stuff is happening. People are moving to other countries. Climate, environment, you go for better weather. You could go for better health care. You could go for just adventure, having fun to another country. Then you could go for business reasons, entrepreneurship, and you could go for retirement, especially lower cost. Also, yeah, to go, it's cheaper to live in another country. Okay, let's go to the discussion. What do you have to say? Who wants to move? Let's talk about the person who wants to move to America. But I already covered all that. We don't need to answer that. What do you find relevant here? I think we don't have Janet. Janet, you want to pray? Which one of the things I talked about are relevant to you? Make a comment. Let me see. Who wants to make a comment? Of the things I said, Hannah, Please like it. I have many people who didn't like it. Like the video, please. Please click on the like and check your subscribe. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. I want to get it to 20,000. I've not focused on subscription for a long time now. I need to talk about it. Please subscribe to the channel. I want to get to 20,000 subscribers. We are stuck at 15.8 right now. And sometime, oh, you want to move for entrepreneurship? Okay, Aula. If you watched, I didn't know Aula, you're still here. You know, you tend to come and disappear. Okay, what do you mean entrepreneurship? When I explained in the previous video, I said that's why at some point when President Museveni went around the country and inviting people to come invest in Uganda, at that time I was working for Uganda Revenue Authority. We were just sending people for sales tax. That was before VAT. That whole industrial area in Uganda was full of people from other countries, mostly from India. They came to set up factories to start things. They started so many things, and he was giving them advantages, taxes. He was giving them, some of them they were getting like exemption from taxes. That's what I meant, but that you can move to another country because there are advantages of taxes, and so you go set up a business. So, Aula, what do you mean? For you, I don't think you're going to move to another country because of entrepreneurship. Are you? You understand why I gave it as the reason? Education, yes. Education will move you. The only problem with education, Bruno, is for you to move, for example, to USA, you are looking for higher education. Most people come here starting from a degree, a master's. Degree and master's. You cannot come here looking for regular education. I don't think so. It won't be worth it. You only come here in a lower education when you are moving with your parents, like children who are coming with their parents. But as an adult, you only come here for a degree or master's, PhD, like that. Okay? Okay, what else? What do you else want to say? Why do you want to move? Or what surprised you from the things I said? The disadvantages. The disadvantages were trying to say the things people face, the bad things, the negative things that people face when they move to other countries. So which one would you pick? How do you want to business also? Yeah, business is more likely people moving like from here to there, like from USA to Uganda, from China to Uganda, from India to Uganda. That's when that would work. But from there to here, I don't know. Very few people would work. Do you know, did I tell you about businesses in America, the way they do them? They don't do, there are people who do small things, but they are big things. So when, for example, give me a name of in Uganda, or a business, in Uganda, a company that started in Uganda. When you start a company, the way the Americans do their stuff is everywhere. You know how big America is? It has over 300 million people. Your company is supposed to be in every city. Okay, the way they do things, every city is going to have that. There's something called franchising. Franchising, let me give you an example that's going to make it very clear. When I started my business, I call it Honest Souls Cleaning Service, I thought about franchising. So when you franchise, it means, I'm talking cleaning now, I would set up how my cleaning is done. I would say, okay, these are the products you use to clean. This is how you clean the kitchen. This is how you clean the bathroom. I write everything down, and I make it a system. I used to use a lot Lysol. It's called Lysol. Lysol is very interesting. If you find Lysol, if you watch this video and you are in maybe America and you find Lysol, yeah, lonely life, very, very lonely. They don't even care. Who cares? They don't. And now the people you came from, they're saying, why are you not sending money? They don't even understand. They think you came to America. Now, like here where I am, you have to have a car. You don't have a car, everyone has their car, they're gone, they left you. They leave you sleeping, maybe watch TV. You see them in the evening or something. Yes, it's lonely. Okay, yeah. Go pray, Hannah. We'll still be here. I'm intending to be here for a while. For those who want to stay. Okay, I was talking about Lysol. Lysol was like my brand cleaning product. Do you know why? Whenever we cleaned and used Lysol, the house smelled so fresh. So whenever people, they would complain, oh my goodness, smells so good. I know, it was because of Lysol. So Lysol would be part of the package. I say, if you're going to clean using my brand, you're going to use Lysol. So you package it properly, and guess what you do? After you design it and make it a package, you start selling it. Aula, listen to this. You like business? Who else put business? Kakoma. You brand it and you sell it. It's called franchising. So it's my system now. I say, if you want to clean the way I clean, you're going to pay me $20,000 to use my system. So I would sell it, and I start selling it in the cities. In the cities, people come, they pay $10,000 for me to give them permission to clean like me, and to clean in my name. That name, the owner souls. So you start franchising like that. If you work at really good, that's how people become millionaires. If you do it really good, you're going to find honest soul service in the whole of America, in every city, but it's owned by a different person. The person I gave the license. Are you following? But when they are doing that, like so, I'll have like a website, and in that website, I'll be advertising and finding them customers. So if someone came and they want a cleaning, I say, okay, which city do you want? Then I send them to the local franchise, But those people, they clean the house the way I train them to clean it. So I'll be having my people who train them. They train them to clean the way my system works. You are not allowed to clean it any other way. You are not allowed to use other. Remember I said Lysol? They all have to use Lysol, or it's not my system. So now the whole country would know that if it's honest soul service, it's going to be like this. Are you following? It's called franchising. Okay. Did you understand? Aula, are you still here? This is a very interesting model. I thought about it. Because now you have to make sure those people you're giving your license to clean in your name, they are doing it the way you said it. Otherwise, they could mess it up. They could mess up the brand that you ask them to use Lysol, and now they are using, there is another one called Pine Sol. It smells different. They are not allowed to change anything in that system. That's why you'll find that one company is everywhere. The way they do things, they license them, and sometimes it could be just one company creating branches, but you find things everywhere. I had to travel to Washington State sometime last year to visit my daughter, and I could not believe everything is still everywhere. I had to travel 2 planes to go to that place. You find the safe way that's over here is the same safe way over there. You see, that's how American businesses are done. Now, Aula, if you come here and you want to start your business, you have to be willing to do it at that level. That's why they make them publicly traded companies, because people buy shares. They buy shares and they use public money. Last hour. I'll never finish speaking without talking about this book. That is other people's money. That's how you create a big business. But you make it public. People come and put their money in. They buy shares and you use it to expand the business like that. That's another level of business. That's how people make their millions, okay? Okay. What else do you have to comment about the disadvantages of moving? I had loneliness. I had people move for education, for business. What else? That was 4, but I want the disadvantages. Why people shouldn't move. I'm discouraging people to move. Did you know that? I'm discouraging people to move because I want you to learn how to do things from where you are. I want you to come learn how to set up your own thing online here to be on YouTube like this. You know, YouTube just introduced going live together. I wonder who wants to do it with me. I need to do it with the person who has the channel. Janet, are you done praying? We are missing you here in the chat. Janet, I think they are praying. Don't it already? They're in Malaysia. They are praying. What do you mean, fraud, Aula? What do you mean? I didn't understand that. What do you mean? Explain, Aula. Aula, did you understand the system I just explained? The franchising and the growing of businesses, they are everywhere. Can you imagine having a business that's in every city in America? Political asylum. Yeah, political asylum is one of the reasons why people move. Like right now in Uganda, because of the lesbian stuff, that law they signed, people are leaving Uganda and they're coming here and giving that reason. We can't be in Uganda because we are lesbians or we are gay, stuff like that. That's what you mean? But also the wars, when we were like Afghanistan, many people ended up here because of the war. Okay, Aula, I didn't understand. But I wanted to make sure, Aula, you understood what I explained when I was talking about franchising, because that's the way some people, you can become a millionaire really quickly. But you have to make sure you enforce the standards of the franchise, because people cannot go and do their own thing. There is a show here that was very interesting. They would make a millionaire, like a person who is very, very rich, right? To go underground, and these guys themselves, they would dress different and go work in their business. So they would, like someone who started a business that's everywhere in America, then these guys themselves, like they're the boss, right? But they dress up different and go and work in one of the local places. So the employees didn't know, they wouldn't know that they are working with their boss. And that was a very interesting show. So he would go, it's still there. They would go disguise themselves, maybe put a beard or something, and go and apply and get a job and work with employees. And the employees didn't know that they were working with their boss. But yeah, it's very, very good that this franchise, that's the way to grow businesses. But you know what was funny about that, or not fun? That boss would find that they had a franchise. The way I explained that they sold their business to other. They are okay, maybe a branch. Some of them would be branches. Like you have a branch in a city and another one, another. They would go and find that people were selling other things. Remember how I said Lysol? They're not using Lysol anymore. They're doing other things. They will find that, you know what the manager would say? Oh, I got so creative. I added these other products and these other products. They had changed the whole brand. You know what would happen in those kind of circumstances? This boss, who was disguising themselves so they don't know who they are, they would get so mad, they'll remove everything and show that they are the real boss. It happened a few times. That what they found, what the people were doing was so bad, they would stop hiding. Did you follow that? It is interesting actually when you go see it. And when you watch it, they follow a real boss going to their location, hiding from employees. They don't know that that's them. But when they saw something outrageous that the people were doing, sometimes they'll come out and they're not hiding anymore. Okay, I think, are you asking me anything? I think let's end this one here. Ask me anything, especially if it's about coming to America, because I want people who ask me come to America. The only thing where I want you to come to America is if you get that lottery. It's still going on. It's about to start. In fact, I think October, they're about to start applying. That's the only way I wish for you. Keep trying until you get it. Because that's the best way. They will allow you to come work. They allow you to come with your family, your husband, your wife, your children. And later you can file for your parents. That's the American dream. But everything else, I'll say no. Or if it's higher education and you have the money, that's another way also. But this thing of getting a visitor's visa, I don't support it. I'll never support it. I know people do it, but I'll never support it. Because I know what it does. You come here, you are here illegally. You're not allowed to work. Okay, anyone with a question, ask me. I'm not a lawyer though, but I know something about, because I went through it. I went through it. If you have any question, ask me. I'm about to cut this one off. We are discussing the advantages and disadvantages of moving to other countries. The most, one of the most loved countries, number one on the list to move to is USA. I just told you a few things about USA, and maybe you don't like it as much anymore. It's good for those people who are qualified. If you have the education, if you have the skill they want, right now, if you have a Bachelor of Science, if you have like, what's most popular right now? The most popular skills that's in the health care and the, if I get my chance of leaving Uganda, I use it wisely. But use it wisely meaning what? I just told you. If you go to a country and you're not allowed to work, there's no wise. What do you mean by wisely? It's not about wisely. It's about doing it right. You come and you're allowed to work. If you're not allowed to work, then you're going to do the low jobs. You know those low jobs, they can't even pay your rent. They can't pay your rent. So how are you going to do it? Because when you first come to America, you find that you have to pay for all the expenses, right? Maybe you even borrowed some money from the people over there at home, and then you left some expenses, you have some children to take care of, but you also you have to go to education to learn. You find that you don't have the money to do all those things. And that's the only way to go forward. That's why it takes years. It takes years to get something out of USA, because you have to do all those things. That's why people do 2-3 jobs. All they do is work, nothing else. If I get a chance, okay. Anyone who have a question, ask me. I'm getting off. Did I ask you to? Oh, Hudai, if you are here, good morning. Because I wanted to come to USA for my master. If you have master, then you're going to have very good grades. They have scholarships. Hudaifa. That's why when I'm talking to students who are in their first degree, I say, please do your very best to get grades. Do you know Abdul Nur? You know Abdul Nur, right? In our family. He came here on a scholarship, PhD, fully paid for. You have to do the very best on your first degree, because you're not going to get a scholarship if you have a basic degree. Make sure you get the upper second, and they still do those, right? Huzaifa, scholarship can bring you, but you have to know that with a scholarship, it's a scholarship. You are not allowed to work. They have a limit. I don't know what they're doing these days. They were allowing even to work inside the university. You cannot go out and get a job. But it depends. Some states, I think, is different. Some universities different. Some they allow them to work. You have to go through a process. The company will sponsor you and process papers for you. Allow them to work. At that time, I was used to understand the system of work of students. They allowed at least 20 hours a week, something like that. But working inside the university, they have some small things to do, just to get some pocketed money to survive, but not making good money. No, that happened after school, and then you have to get like sponsored, some company. Okay, you got that? Okay, ask any other. But remember, I told you I'm not an expert, and also I haven't dealt with immigration for a while, but that's what I used to know. Most of it is correct. I just told you that the best way is the lottery. It's about to come somewhere, I think September, October. Keep putting your name, and make sure you are at least high school education. Uganda. The people who have applied and they were taken, if they didn't have high school, they had S4 and they had some other certificate. Like maybe you finished S4 and it went for maybe education certificate, like that. Then they say they qualify. But I'll tell you, for me, from my experience, you want to come here after HSC. Because all the other levels of education, they're going to make it hard for you to do the things that you're supposed to do over here. Okay, anyone with any other question? I'm about to cut this off. From here, it's night, but I'm intending to work. From here, I'm going to go to TikTok. From TikTok, I'm going to Zoom. Who wants to follow me like that? From here, I'm going to TikTok. From TikTok, I'll go to Zoom to answer questions on Zoom. For you, I don't think anyone here wants to learn what I'm going to teach. I'm teaching affiliate marketing. You know me. I'm always talking affiliate marketing. Huzaifa, let me see. Huzaifa, how many are you left with? How many years before you finish university? You are the one coming to TikTok? Okay, I'm going to TikTok. I'll share if you want. For those of you who watch this later, I don't think this was very relevant to you. Only if you are in Uganda, it was maybe relevant. It gave you some information. Tell me, what's your takeaway before I close it? What did you learn that you didn't know from my talking? Was it worth it? What did you learn that you didn't know? What's your takeaway from this? Is it good to move or not to move? Remember, I invited you to come, learn how to work from where you are, okay? But everything you're going to do requires commitment, requires hard work. If we put the same amount of focus, if you want to go to another country, the amount you put, the amount of time and money and all that, if you focused on what you are doing right now, do you know you could create a better life for yourself still? People, when they start saying, I'm going to another country, their whole focus changes. They don't even behave the right way where they are. I'm going. It may take them 3 years, they're processing going. But in the 3 years, you could have done something. 3 years is a degree. Do you know that? So I'm saying, I know Uganda, things are not easy, but things are not easy anywhere. For us, we have our own challenges. Only someone living in America will understand. You cannot understand it. If I told you what it takes to live in America, remember I told you there's no house. You don't have a house. They're homeless people in America. Then you don't have a house there. So you want to go, but where are you going to stay? Huh? You have to think about all those things. So if you focus that energy in where you are and come into my community, I teach you. Because right now, let me tell you, something that's either, do you know that on YouTube, on TikTok, even YouTube, they introduced something called TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop. I was checking it. I think when it started, they were taking like 1,000 followers. Now they want 5,000. But the opportunities that are in these apps, TikTok Shop means people buy on your page. YouTube introduced it also. You have, that's why I'm saying to you, I need to focus and get to 10,000 followers, 10,000 subscribers. You sell from, I could be here and I'm selling things right here on my page. So I'm saying come learn. The other skill that they're going to help you is editing videos. If you learn how to edit videos, you learn how to edit shorts, you learn how to manage people's accounts like TikToks, Instagram, all that, social media, marketing, social media. You make money from your bed. I'm not even saying your home. I said your bed. The little space you have where you sleep, it can be your place where you work. But are you listening to me? No, you're not. You're not listening to me. You're just asking me how do I get to America. I'm showing you how you could be paid dollars from where you are. You are not listening. So, but I keep talking. That's a link that I shared. If you want to come to my community, you click it. I explain, or you listen to me a little bit. If you want to come, you come. If you don't, you don't. You see? So who is going to take me up on learning social media? There are people in Uganda making dollars. Even right here on YouTube. Because all you need, in fact they reduced it now. Huzaifa, what happened to your YouTube channel? You are on YouTube. If you had continued to post, do you know it's very easy to post shorts? Right now they are paying those with 500 subscribers, but they're not paying them the way they pay the 1,000, the ads. But the other ways you can get paid because you have 500 subscribers. But for me, I'd love it for you to get to 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, so you can have the ads on your channel the way you see mine now, right? It's doable. but you are refusing to do it. I don't know what to do. I keep saying and saying and saying. Huzaifa, why are you not posting on your YouTube channel? What happened? And you have much to share right now because now you have more knowledge. Why don't you come and inspire those young people in Uganda? I'm talking to Huzaifa. Respond to me because I don't see you much anymore. You want to say you are very busy, right? Okay, those of you who are interested in coming to my community, please fill that out. Please like the video. You only a few likes. I like it. Subscribe to the channel. Like I always end these, I say, take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of your families. Take very good care of your health. The reason I did this is to show you that just moving to another country doesn't mean everything is perfect. But when those people are speaking, they only speak to the people who understand. If I'm having issues being in America, I don't talk to you. I talk to someone who is here, who will understand it. Okay? It's good sometimes, but sometimes it's not. You have to be prepared. It has to be for you. You have to be patient. You have to go learn the system. You have to better yourself, education. Yeah, all that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video. I still see no, you're not liking it. And share with others who you think may benefit with it. Those of you in my WhatsApp, if you want me to send you my link to TikTok, put here. I'm going to, I'm going to TikTok. And then after that, I'll go to Zoom. I think I'm working the whole night today. It's 2 a.m. Okay? Thank you all so much. The next live, I think, will be for USA. I did this one for international. When I do the other ones, they come very early for you. It will be like 5 a.m. But I'm here every Friday. Friday night for me, Saturday morning for international. If you are in USA, it comes sometimes around 10 p.m. I'm live here. Yeah. Bye-bye.